Let's bring in our first guest from the Golden Valley Union School District, Trustee Area Number 4, John Moseley. John, how are you, buddy?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. Now, we have met before.
Yes.
And we talked about what is going on over in the Golden Valley Union School District. Unified School District. Unified School District. You were just voted in November.
Yes.
And they already want to kick your butt out.
That is correct.
Yeah. What did you do?
Actually, we still don't know what we don't know the real reason for the recall.
Because they want you and Carla Jean Neal out.
They want Carla Jean Neal, they want Kathleen Crumpton and myself, because we make a majority.
Okay. Now, I did a little research.
Sure.
Okay. From what I see, you guys started pointing your fingers and the people didn't like it.
Those in charge didn't like it, yes. Well, first off, we've enhanced the budget.
And by enhance the budget.
Savings. We made them start bidding their contracts for services.
Not getting.
You sort of, you could say that. Yes, and the savings were found for that. For
1 year?
$30,000 a year for 3 years. We just hired a superintendent. They said it would cost $200,000 to do that. We didn't spend any money to do that. We have a gentleman.
Why would it have cost dollars to hire a superintendent? Do they run a real fancy ad?
I don't know. That was one of the claims. We knew it was way out of proportion, and we didn't spend money on that. We had our interim superintendent was Kevin Hatch. He's a long-term district employee. He was a principal, a vice principal, a teacher, the assistant sup for 3 years, and then the interim while we hired him at the last board meeting. We didn't do a search. We didn't think we needed to. We're a small district, long-term employee.
What's that position pay?
Well, we're in negotiations for that. He's been working at 5% more of his previous. By promoting him, we're going to save in the six figures for the district, so that will help the bottom line next year.
But there was one gentleman in particular that you were pointing your finger at, and I think that this guy, what is his name?
Which one?
You don't know? Okay, well, let's just say that you're pointing your finger at some of the people that have been in that school district, some decision makers for a long time.
Well, the superintendent left on his own, Mr. Alvarado. And that was I assume that was one of the motivators, because the people who carried the petition were upset because he had left. We did not fire him. Developers, and at that moment the school teachers union, because they want a pay raise. Mm-hmm. And I had said before, we want the best education for the children, but it has to be within the confines of our budget, and we're still there.
So what's the problem with that? Who's mad about that?
Apparently a lot of people, and what the public didn't know, and what I want to talk a little bit about is that.
Spill the beans, John.
We're going to.
Okay.
We had been asked not to talk about this. But I've been blasted for not transparency by two of the previous board members. They had reached an agreement with originally Castle Cook, and then it was sold to another developer. I think it's Stone River or Riverstone Development. And we had just two boards meetings ago got a memo saying that what they had done is problematic. Trying to use as simple as words, not problematic, and that there's a problem with it, and that it could lead to lawsuits.
What's the problem?
And I don't fully know. I know it has put the district in the position of being part of, I won't say we're the focus of, part of an investigation.
Federal investigation?
Regulatory agency, yes. And because it revolves, we still haven't seen all the paperwork, but it revolves around the deal they cut.
Someone's done something.
Possible tax increases, and the bond that was sold to the public to build the high school and the middle school. Now, We weren't talking about it. We were asked not to.
We talking about payola, John? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm not accusing anybody of taking any money.
Hold on. Now, this is a small school district. We having all this drama.
It is. And I think part of it was done is that way is because a lot of this was done as a parent and taxpayer. I didn't know about it. It's possible that whatever this deal was put together is a great deal. When you get a letter from county council to one of your attorney reps saying this is not a good idea. There are issues with it. There are major issues with it, and you get board members who were there previously saying we have to call and see if we can get county council to change their opinion. That's what, and then be accused later by these same board members of not being transparent, and all three of us, Kathleen and Carla and myself, when they have all this information and they were trying to keep it quiet, and then get accused at the last board meeting again by these people. I felt it had to be spoken about.
They're trying to run you out.
They want to recall us. Yes, they want us out. We're trying very hard to actually be transparent up front, work well with the parents and students.
They don't like a whistleblower.
They don't like what we're doing. That's correct. And
they want to play by their own rules with no one interfering.
They want to play by what the rules they've set and they think is the best.
The blacktop rules.
And the sad thing is that when I was elected, like I told you last time, I ran because the drinking fountains weren't working and the toilets weren't there at the sporting events. And when I got elected, nobody from the old board who were aware of these deals or the former superintendent told us anything about it. We learned about them when we were informed that we were a focus of a federal regulatory agency because of the bond. I learned more when this memo was released to us. I have asked this morning for a copy of the agreement on the Belarus and the other material involved in it. I haven't received it yet, so I can't talk about the great details. There are shenanigans.
This type of ploy's gone on forever, okay?
Yes.
I'm in trouble, but I'm going to send the focus over to John so they don't point their finger at me. As one
of the other two board members said, the tax increase may be so small they'll never figure it out. That's when I called our districts, the school district's attorneys, and said, I'm not going to sit silent if even a penny more in taxes are going up with nobody knowing about it. And this has to be discussed. Now, it may be a great deal. I don't think so, but it may be. Because what they were trying to do was, as I understand it, is they were trying to carve out areas where a new development would come in, they build an elementary school, but wouldn't pay for the high school or junior high. And that means there's all sorts of issues there because your bond is sold on the whole wealth of the district. You're carving a section out that isn't there. So what is your real tax rate for that bond? Bondholder issues then? Taxpayer increases, even if they're a penny, those are issues. I don't remember being discussed as a taxpayer. I kept, because they asked us to stay quiet because of the investigation. I did that until we got to this point. I told counsel for the school district said that when it's taxes and those things, you've got to let the public know. They have a right to hear that. And this is going to be a real controversy with the yes on recall people, because they're going to be very upset about this getting out, and so will the other two board members. But I and Carla and Kathleen, who are honestly working hard to keep this district fiscally sound, to bring back, if it's fiscally possible, because they were laid off not because of money, these three teachers, because of enrollment, which went, we were told, from 1900 to 1867, to bring them back if it's possible. And if it's possible within the confines of the budget to do all that and give them a raise, we want to do that for our teachers, who are great teachers. The focus is the budget and the best education our children can get. And we haven't been vocal because we were told by the elections office we couldn't oppose the recall initially. Turned out to be not true. We were told that only people who live in your area and were voters could carry the petition. That didn't turn out to be true. And so we're having a special board meeting, which the supporters of the recall are upset about, on May 1. And the reason is we only have 14 days to call this election. We don't want to miss a technical deadline and then turn over the setting of the election date to the county. So we're going to do, on May 1, a special board meeting, set the election date, hand carry that information to the elections office so there will be a vote. And whether I win or lose, I want to have a clear conscience that we at least discussed all that stuff. I'm not going to be accused of not being transparent. I'm a very honest, transparent person. All my life I've been that way. And that's why before I came and talked to you, I talked to the school district council and said, I'm going to try to explain this to the public. And if after they know all the deals, all the ramifications, and I'm sure they're going to be very unhappy with me, the recallers, at least they will be out there and they'll have that discussion. And if they want to let each new development not pay for the high school and junior high, which will raise our taxes in some form at the best scenario, then that's their choice. But I would think they will want the whole district to cover the cost of all our children for those schools, for those teachers, for those curriculum costs.
I've seen this happen before. People that are put in positions to make it better for the kids start getting a big head in their ego, and they think it's more about them.
You can say that. I'm just going to say that there's three of us who are working very hard with a great heart and really are committed to the staff. I told you before, in fact, they quoted this because they were unhappy with the last one. My boys had a great education out there, fabulous. The teachers are good. We needed new leadership. We're trying to bring the leadership, and we are trying to be honest and open for the public. I wouldn't be here opening myself up to the criticisms I'm going to have if it wasn't true. And I would ask my constituents and the constituents for Kathleen and Carlin to vote no on the recall when it comes up.
I'd ask him to say the same.
Thank you.
John Moseley, always good to see you, buddy. I think you're a very brave dude. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on The Buzz. Stick around.